Hello and welcome. How's everybody doing? Try to get an earlier start this time. What's up? I almost missed the deadline. I was like, what time is it? I was like, oh no, it's 9 o'clock. What's up? How's everybody doing? We got Roberto, we got Mr. Davies, we have Zach, we have William. Hello, welcome. David Brown says, I quit playing due to waiting on Power Surge, and when Power Surge happened, I never got to hop on due to work, so I'm hopping back in. Nice, dude. Good time to jump in. And farming is going to be a thing on the 25th. Do we have that one in the link? Here, let me grab it from my sheet here. I'm pretty sure I have it over here. So yes, if you haven't already seen this, this will kind of help you get started, whether you already have a base or not. This you can either make as a separate thing or work it into your base. This is actually a very good kind of hit the ground running type guide. Is that the right one? Yes. Hello, hi, King Hollow, Leopard, Dill Pickle. He says, let's go. Pickles. Pickles. There we go. We'll pin this one. Ooh, that was hot. Good vibes. What's up? Okay, so we have a poll going. It says, will you be playing on the 25th? 79% say yes. 0% say no. 5% say what's going on? The farming update. And then 16% say they're waiting for custom servers, which I understand. Okay, so as we have heard, maybe you haven't, but I'm telling you now, apparently we're supposed to get a dev blog relatively soon, and even a sneak peek. I don't know if they'll be the same thing. I am under the impression that they'll be different. Here's the thing. The dev blog, I think, will address custom servers. And I know if it's going to be bad news, and I don't know. I'm just kind of putting it out there. I'm kind of like setting my expectations, right? Because it's like they've taken so long and they've been so quiet. I'm kind of like, okay, what, you know, wait for that other shoe to drop. I'm like, so I think if they know custom servers aren't going to be in a timely fashion or this year, I think they need to tell us. As rough as that might be to hear, I'd rather know that and set my expectations, right? I'm not saying that's going to be the case. I'm just kind of like, me personally, that's where I'm setting my expectations to be like, hey, they need to kind of tell us what's up, give us like a ballpark or what they're aiming for, or if there's a hang up, like what the hang up is. I think that would do a lot for the community. Like, look, we're all adults here. We know how to like manage our expectations and stuff, but like, when they announced it 2 years ago and they barely talked to us for a year, and now that only recently have they talked to us and given us tidbits, which is great. Don't get me wrong. That's awesome. Please, please, please keep doing that. But like, if they kind of string it along and they know it's not going to be out this year and they don't tell us, that's going to be a problem, right? You know, not to be a negative Nancy or anything, but what I'm saying is, like, if they know now that it's going to take a while, like 6 months or longer, they need to say something and they need to give a reason why. Like, let us know what's happening, right? We're not like, we'll, you know, we're big boys. We can handle this. You know what I mean? Like, let us know if that's the case. I'm not saying it is. I don't know, because believe you me, anything I know, I tell you guys, like, immediately. So, I'm just kind of like, I guess I'm holding my breath or waiting for the other foot to drop. Do you know what I mean? Is that weird? I'm just like, hey, please. I think it would have a lot of goodwill. Even if it's bad news, you really have to tell the community what's going on, because we've literally, on the 25th, it'll be 2 years we've waited for this. And let's not forget, the whole reason why we're waiting for this with bated breath is, well, not only do we want it, but they announced it 2 years ago. They announced it. We didn't. So it's like, hey, please fill us in. Please, please, please let us know what's going on. And if it's good news, that's great too. But even if it's bad news, just communicate with the community. What do you guys think? Am I out of place on that? Like, I'm not saying anything's weird or whatever. I'm just like, hey, please give us the information, anything, right? Having to fill in the gaps has been pretty rough for 2 years. Am I wrong in that? What's up? He says ramps are better for internal honeycomb. They can be. Replacing can be rough after a raid, but yeah. It says, watching a stream sitting on the shooting floor of my trap base. Oh, nice. Prophet says, hey. William says, Jade, what is better for internal honeycomb? Roofs or ramps? Ramps can be, but there's kind of a... Let me go get rid of that. Hold on. It says, Jade, when's the update coming out? 25th. Okay, so another thing too, anybody on PlayStation, if you're trying to play today, I think it's been cleared up now. There was some kind of small update that happened for the client and on the server side, as far as I know, and there was some hang up with PlayStation, the certification process. It was hung up until about, I want to say, maybe 3 or 4 hours ago. I could be wrong on that time, but roughly that time. So I think it's been cleared up, but I think anybody that's been trying to play today, you've kind of just been sitting there waiting if you're on PlayStation. So I believe it's been resolved if there's not any other additional issues. So, yeah, because we got a lot of comments on that, and I was trying to figure out what was going on with it, and then, yeah, by the time I was going to, like, make a video or whatever, it was, like, pretty much going to be cleared up. Jay Davies says, no, I agree. It says, I agree 100%. Be open and honest. He says, same thing. I tell my wife, yes, yes. Says, yes, it was annoying. And that's the thing, too. It's like, you know, we're all left holding the bag, especially us, like, because we're, you know, trying to report on stuff. And it's like, hey, you know, if you don't tell us what's going on, we'll just assume that's going to be relatively soon. I mean, you wouldn't have had such an aggressive timeline if, you know, if you weren't confident that you could do it. So clearly something happened. And it was obviously Power Surge that was a lot bigger, because Power Surge and farming had to happen before custom servers. We know that. So, like, if they knew, and I suspect they did, at least 4 or 5 or 6 months in, they had to have known that they bit off way more than they could chew, or there was some type of issue. They should have communicated then what was going on, instead of just going, well, here's the next big thing. It's like, don't get me wrong, that's cool, but like when you put this precedent out there to be like, hey, custom servers, and then you know you blew it, not blew it, but like it's going to be delayed. Blew it, that's kind of harsh, but like that's why it's like, yeah, you've had a problem with people getting excited about it because you haven't told us what's going on. You know what I mean? Even if it took 8 months, like they should have told us the instant they figured that out, to be like, hey, here's the game plan for this, like here's the hang up. And that would have done, I would have been like, okay, like that sucks, but you know, we can look forward to all these other things, and you know, like we'll look forward to that in the future, like, you know, on an X date, whatever that might be. Yeah, but the fact that it's always like they kept everything so close to the chest has been pretty frustrating, I think, for us as players, right? That's why I'm like, it'll be great if they show progress, and I don't want to like beat them down for that, to be like, oh, you know, it's not what I wanted to hear, but like, tell us anything, please. Even if it's bad news, let us know what's going on. And like if it is bad news, let us know what the hang-up is, because I think it'll buy a lot of goodwill with the community. Even though I know everybody wants community servers, and I'm with you on that, believe me, I think it's just going to go a long way if they do that. Custom servers cost money to make. I've never played PC. Yes, they will. It'll be very similar to like Ark or DayZ, but the only difference is, as I understand it, everything will be done inside of the console itself. So it'll be very similar to kind of the Conan setup, if anybody ever played that. They also had like a web interface too. It was through Nitrado, but they also had like an interface in the system, or in the game itself. So. Did they install anti-cheat already? When they do, they're not going to tell us openly. There's just going to be a bunch of bans. And that's the way it should be, because they want to catch as many people as possible. That's why we keep telling everybody, if you've got that nasty habit of using the M&K adapter and scripts, I would cut it out, because you're going to be awfully upset when you get banned. That's the way it works on PC. They don't tell you when the ban waves come, as it should be. Because then people will try to circumvent it. Or they'll be like, oh, I'll cheat it right up until this point. And then you're like, oh. What's up, Mr. Russo? What's up, dude? What did Prophet say earlier? The graphics now look better than the new update. Also, the new update. What's PC has now? He says. Or would there be another one? I'm on PC currently, but if you're over on PTB, you'll notice there was a terrain update, so that's a noticeable improvement. It says, in my opinion, the graphics are now better than the update, but would these be PC graphics or another update to look like PC? Well, here's the thing. Without getting too technical, it's going to look very close. I mean, obviously, these Adobe skins, we don't have this type of stuff yet, but let me go over to like this structure here. This will be more true to form. It'll look very similar to this. The difference is there's like extra like layers of atmosphere or environment rather that's on top of this that we don't have, that they've cut out for like the core systems and stuff, because it's just some extra overhead that, yes, it'll make it look better, but they're trying to get performance out of the core systems. But they may have that one option, like if you're on the next gens, they kind of turn some of those options on for us, which is nice. I appreciate that. Like if you've looked at the water and you're on a PS5 or a Series X, it looks really nice. I hope they had that kind of conditional improvement where we get all of those really nice reflections, the water, but things look very close to this. You'll just notice that there's like some subtle differences, and that's mostly like environment, atmospheric type stuff. There's like layers that go on top of it, if that makes any sense, without getting too crazy technical. I mean, I suppose I could look up all the commands to like take off all the layers and stuff to kind of show you what I'm talking about, but I don't know those off the top of my head. I'd have to go dig those out. Does it matter placement of solar panels? Yes. If you want a day and night cycle, the optimum in most cases on the island is northeast and southwest. I see some people just stick their solar panels in one direction. I guess you could do that, but you're going to have more of a dark period than a light period. You want to have things for morning and afternoon. And then solar panel is great because it's very consistent and it's low profile. Obviously, it's a lower power output, but it's consistent. And if you planned for like the nighttime, like through your battery consumption, and you have enough, like a surplus during the day, so you'll be charging. So even if you use whatever on your base, you should be able to just still always like maintain the charge. Kind of like what we have here. We have 4 solar panels. This one's northeast and southwest. This is for the morning. This is for the afternoon. I know it's not like the realistic way to do this. But this one works the best for the island because apparently, I guess this is in an equatorial region. So I guess towards the center of the map, things kind of change a little bit. But for the most part, you'll catch most of the sun in the morning and afternoon if you go northeast, southwest. There is something to be said if you're on the center line, and I think that's the center line of the map. I think it changes. But apparently, this fictitious island is supposed to be on an equator. So. Wait a minute, Rust isn't real? As long as we have it close to PC on all aspects, I'm happy to play Rust on console. Yeah, me too. Me too. Custom servers, I'd love to know information. It'd be great if it was like good information. But I hope they take the route of like, hey, let's just be open and let everybody know what's going on. And that may not be one person's decision. It could be, it's usually a suit and it comes from higher up, and then it's delegated down through the ranks. So, I mean, you know, it's not Pedro making that call necessarily in most cases, but these graffiti boxes are dope. And when I first saw these, I didn't know they glowed like this, but man, they're super sharp, right? We've got the outside color. The graffiti looks really great. Yeah, at first I was like, oh, these are nice, but I was like, oh, did they glow? But these are like the perfect box. I like them a lot. They got a lot of pizzazz. There we go. So like right here, we're running 2 turrets, right? And we've got 4 solar panels, so 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. So the way this works is this will run for what? 22 seconds, which you probably want to have this at like a minute or 2. But what happens is I'm actually gaining charge on this because the turrets are not active currently. So let me go down here and kind of show you what I'm talking about. Let's just go ahead and pop that. If you look at the consumption, it's only 4, and that's nothing. But if you go and activate, you try to jump up on this roof tile here anywhere, that's when the turrets get active. And then they stay on for a period of time until there's no signal. And if you look downstairs, our current usage is now 25. So we have almost 7 hours when they're turned on, and then watch, they'll go off here in a second. So it says, to be honest, the lag and super special 2x is pretty bad, he says, and still a lot of invalids. Yeah, that's part of the reason why they're testing it on staging or whatever. And see, look, now we're back to 37 hours just running on idle. So even if somebody wiped out our solar panels, this still could run for almost 40 hours. And then as it detects people, it'll start pulling down the charge even further. But like you can see, like with just a couple techniques, man, you can actually have a battery life go for much longer. So just leaving turrets on all the time is not the way to go, if you can help it. Just having that little sensor right here on the top will stop anybody peeking over the rim, because then the turrets turn on, and then it's kind of hard to camp a door when you're getting lit up. Hopefully that answers your question. It says, did anyone play Dying Light crossover event 2021? It says they'll have similar events in the future. I don't know. That was cool. Hey, by the way, speaking of collabs and stuff and events, the Twitch Rivals is going on, so if you want to get some PC skins for free, you can. So if you sign in and connect your Steam account, I think, let me just make sure I have the right stuff here. Let me give you the right info. I'm going to give you the one directly to Face Punch's website. So if you'd like to do it, you can. And just know that anybody that DMs you about the skins, that's not how that works, so they're trying to scam you, so don't do that. Face Punch doesn't try to contact you or anything. Apparently there's been a lot of scammers doing this weirdness, so just want to make sure nobody gets taken advantage of. So yeah, if you want to do it, it's all through their website there. Even if you don't have the game, I think you can still earn them, and I think you can still earn them and get the drop, and then if you have the game, then they'll be applied to your account, I think even 180 days after, is what I read. So if you want to, you don't have to, but they're really nice skins. Do we have red over here? We had a good question about clones last time. I want to make sure I go over it again. My plants didn't make it. I wanted to also, I was doing this a couple, was it last month or the month prior? Probably the month prior. We're doing like a bunch of like collective tips that we've done. Oh, whoops. Says, dude, I love your channel. You're very helpful. Thanks, Dill Pickle. I like the name. I'm glad it's helping out. Yeah, so I'm hoping it's good news for the custom server stuff. Like I said, I don't know anything other than what I've already told you guys. I just hope it's good news. But if it's bad news, I hope they communicate with us. That's what I'm, fingers crossed, you know? I'm holding my breath until whenever they release it. I would assume it's going to be like Friday or Thursday, but who knows? My legs. Twitch Rivals is actually pretty cool. I'll be honest with you. I think it was last year is the first time I like sat down and watched it from the Twitch Rivals channel. And they played it off like it was a sporting event. So they had like a commentator. And then they had somebody like doing this like, I guess like an admin cam around. And keeping track of like the score and like jumping in and out of the action. I was like, that's really cool. If they did that on a more regular basis, for not only for Rust, but like for other games, I would watch that, man. That was tight. So yeah, if you get a chance, there's like there's a lot of creators like playing and you can watch their perspectives. But like when the Twitch Rivals official channel's on, dude, that was like legit. It's like I could get into that. I kind of like for the Twitch Rivals event, like the different rules they have. Like I think last year was like day 1 was like primitive, day 2 was like tier 1, like brevies and something else. There was like a no raid rule when people weren't online. It was nice, man. It was dope. I'd be down, man. The mini air battles? Yes. What's up? Straight Up Siege says, just found one of your videos. Thanks for the help. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by and saying what's up. Stick around. If you guys got any questions, we'll try to answer them the best we can. Electricity farming or just stuff in general, so. Yeah, glad you came by, man. What's up? It says, how do you connect turrets far away from a battery? Ah, it's a good question. Let me ask you this. Hold on. What was the question? It says, how do you connect turrets far away from the battery? That's a really good question. Okay. I'm trying to think of a way to answer this. Like, there's a couple different ways to do this, and maybe I'll just highlight this, and then you can tell me. So as far as connecting them far away, or if you have two sources and you need them to trigger from a signal. So like, let's say this base here detected a player, but you want the turrets on the outer rim to also activate. And these could also have their own sources of power. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about just a really long way to connect it? There's solutions for both. So like, let's say you had, cause you know like area TCs, and this is definitely like a legit question, like a need, and also a legit solution, cause I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've used both scenarios. So when you have area TCs, you've already got tool cupboard coverage, but it'd be nice if you could somehow slap a turret on top. So let's say these were triangles. I'm just doing this as a square because I wasn't thinking. You know what? Let's make it triangles. Oops, I fell through the map. Forgot to put my feet down. Yeah, it's more realistic you're going to use triangles if it's TC cabinets. Am I right or am I right? He says using electrical branches, connect them through a pass-through. That's one way to do it, for sure. But the problem with that is the branches consume a lot. If you're going to daisy chain, the branches can be a lot both on the power side and on the metal side. But, I mean, hey, it's not incorrect. I mean, a lot of times you just use what you have or what's going to work, because especially when you're getting lit up. So, if you're trying to go the most cost-effective way, usually you'll attach these around your turret pods around your TC, area TCs when you can. Sorry, let me do the setup while you're answering. Yeah. Who's asking that? Twitch Rivals won't let you partner up with full pro Rust players anymore. It says it's now 1 or 2 pros with new guys. Oh, that's fine. Well, I know there was kind of some drama at the time before, which I thought was like, I get their points of views for either side, but I thought it was kind of lame that they decided to quit, like the one team, and I was like, man, that's not the way to do it. It's kind of like taking your ball and going home a little bit. You know, I understand what they're saying, but at the same point, it's like, hey, isn't the whole point of this to have fun and also make content? That was last year. Hopefully it's more balanced this year. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Like for a glimpse, but I really want to watch it like I did last year. It was legit. So I'm trying to get this up here so we can get this question. Yeah, you're starting to have a lot more like electrical questions, you know? Freg. Was I trying to spell freight? Ooh, by the way, I did find out. It looks like the container, I think it's the metal skin, is coming out for the PC on June 1st. That's a lot sooner than I thought. And it looks way cool. I don't know when we're going to see that kind of stuff for us on the console side, but it's nice to see, you know, it gives us a glimpse into the future. Whoopsie. Oh my goodness, that's twice. See, with the new radial menu, I'm off just a little bit, and so when I do my flick for upgrading the stone, I occasionally start hitting the metal side like a dummy. So Jade, you can place a half wall over a low wall for a pipe, pass through, and then block it off with a locker for TC. Oh yes. This bro, we need tier 3 TC build. He says like gun safe vault, TC high quality, 10 gears, 1200 metal. That would be cool. A couple of people have suggested that in the past, and I'm not opposed to it. So like, let's say you're at an area TC and this is inside of your compound still. I keep doing that. Do you see what I mean? I keep flicking to the metal like a dummy. Alright, so let's just say we'll have some kind of signal. There's a bunch of different ways. So if you have this as its own power source out here, there's actually a really fancy way you can do this, and the range is unlimited. And I'm about to blow your mind. I like that Jade knife. Okay, so I don't know how you'd have this set up as far as the turrets are concerned. Let's just say this one's here just for argument's sake. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. I'm not saying you had to do this. This probably isn't the best way to place it, but this will illustrate the point. So you have a turret here, and you'd like to activate it. However you want to do your TC config out here, whatever that looks like. Again, this is more for illustration purposes. You could do a medium, honestly. Wouldn't be the worst thing. You probably want to get it lined up on the wall here for the most part, because then you can still reach your TC. So that's not too bad, right? Let me make it a bit more daytime, shall we? Says, hey, guess what? What? 69k subs, nice. Yes. Says, hey man, I'm a new player. Your videos help a lot. Says, keep up the good work. Thanks, dude. What's up? He says, yo, what's up? It's me, Cryptic. What up? I target Vendies for loot. Now you're talking. Says, you should play a server. I definitely will. I typically do. It's just my stream machine's all jacked up. Kind of waiting for that to come back. We melted the motherboard, you know? Good job us. Good job us. I guess we can just take like a standard switch or whatever here and just kind of throw it out. Let's kind of do a preemptive strike here. Yeah, we'll just do a standard switch, whatever. And we can make adjustments as we need to. So a lot of times what you can do, let's go ahead and make this red. Whoop. I'm sorry, blue for the input. A lot of times you can use netting or even, you probably don't want to keep the netting on because then people can go up there and troll your wind turbine, and that's not cool. But you can put up like twig and stuff that helps. Okay, so that's got a charge on it. We can put the red over here for now. And then the turret will be what? Green? Question mark? I don't typically make my cables like this. One way to kind of do this is you can have like a separate power source. Okay, let me make sure I have the question right. It says, how do you connect turrets far away from the batteries? Okay, so if you'd like to have like this turret way out here, that's past 20 meters. You can, obviously to have a TC on here. I think this is well beyond 20 meters. One thing you could do, and I don't know if these actually place in the ground or not. They don't. I wonder if this still works, but I think the crafting cost is a bit high. Good, we're just beyond. Now, there's a couple different solutions for this. This used to not take any power. I don't know if it does anymore. You could use branches. I think this works. Yes, if you wanted that powered. We'll make this one like pink or something so we can kind of see what's what. Hot pink. And you would typically kind of hide these cables the best you can on the ground. That's usually the way to go, but for illustration purposes, I'm just going to bring it straight in. I want to say this works, but we're about to find out. They made some subtle changes to things, so I'm not really sure what's what anymore for this. And I'm not sure what our version is going to support. Just know that you can try the red one, because that won't chew up your power, or it shouldn't. And so if we turn this on, it would also help if I actually plugged it in, eh? Well, looky there. So let's see what the consumption is on that. I think they made it smart now where this chews one up if it's on the other side of the battery. 98. No, you know what? Loophole. Now, if that's not too expensive for you, if that's like 75 metal, it starts to get pricey. But then again, so is this one. I believe this one works in the same fashion. There used to be an exploit around this. You would take the inverted output. Is that right? Inverted output? Yeah, because it's not on to start. You know what? Let's get crazy. Let's make another one. What's up? Free Fuzz says, what are you doing? Answering a question we had about specifically turrets. My wire management is embarrassing. So if you're asking how do you do like long range hookups, you can daisy chain by using different components. I think this still works too. Oh, looky there. Let me check the output on this one. Maybe that it didn't fix it. Hey, either way, the red one seems to work for us, which is kind of awesome. So this one's 49 on the out. 48. So this one sucks one up. So they kind of fixed this one, but this one looks like it works. And it's really like you could use a branch if you wanted to. That's going to use a bit more power for each one. It's just different ways to kind of daisy chain those together. But the problem arises is then people can attack these. And if these aren't semi-protected, then those turrets are going to get knocked out. So typically you would string them through your TC cabinets the best you can. Or hide them the best you can. Was the lag bad there for a second? Let me check. Could have been me. Was it me? What's your least favorite thing about Rust console? Not having minis and dealing with mouse and keyboard adapter fools. But that being said, I will take that over actual hacking and ESP, aimbotting, and all that stuff that's on PC any day of the week. Because, man, I'm not saying those admins don't work hard to like get rid of them. They do, but man, when you're living next to a hacker, it freaking hurts your brain, dude. I guess let's put a cabinet on this one since we've got like an example going here. Oh, la, la, la. Is it better now? It says, what is the other switches for? Oh, over here? This right here is to control the power right now. So with all these turrets on, currently, all three of them. And remember, each component will either use 1 unit of power or more. So this will use 1 when it's on, and this will use 1. And then everything gets split evenly. And then each of those will be 10 apiece. So that's 30. This would be 31, 32. So probably 32 units of power if I did my math right. 34. Oh, yeah, that's right, because of these. So it looks like these are using power, to be honest. I got 32. This one's using a lot. What did we say before? 33. So we have 1, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Yeah, so you know what? It looks like either one of these are being used. Even though this isn't showing, this one's definitely using a unit of power. So yeah, with all of these on, we're using 34 units of power. The reason why we have a switch here is now when we turn it off, now it's 0, which means anything you're putting into this battery right now, which is now currently 116 units of power, then that's all going directly to the battery. It's kind of like having a switch right after your output on your battery is almost like a... There's very few cases where you don't do that. It's something you want to do almost every time. Ooh, yeah. Says Jade, do you play Rust console? Yes, yes I do. We're out here too because doing a lot of the farming stuff's a bit quicker out here on PC. And plus we have custom servers here that we can fly around and spawn things in. It's all good. I get it. Ooh. I shut it off? Yes, I did. So a lot of times you're going to want to put or string these things through TC cabinets to really like protect those units. But if it's inside your compound, you can hide these well enough. So probably branches, even though you're going to chew up a bit more power. But I'm trying to think of another one that helps pass through pretty easily. That's not too obnoxious. I guess switches, but then somebody could hit that and actually shut off your turret, so probably not. Once we do get these, you could probably use that, but that's also stupid expensive. Yeah, probably branches. So I guess it's going to be a trade-off between this or this. So like, this is going to use less power, but it's going to cost more per unit. Per item. Memory cell is pretty expensive too off the rip. I'm trying to think, there's like an obvious pass-through that I'm not like overlooking. That's on the cheap. It's not coming to me. Yeah, maybe branches. Wait, does this one have a pass-through? Oh, but it uses 2 units of power. Boo. That's crazy looking deer. But what's interesting is you don't necessarily have to drag it all out. What you could do here is, instead of having a switch like this, and this is what I was going to touch base on. So check this out. If you wanted to, right, you could activate this a number of different ways. You can have a circuit activate this. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this. When the circuit's on, and so when it receives a signal, then you can have it activate this way and then turn on the turrets, which is a wireless way to turn on your turrets, which isn't too bad. So you don't actually have to drag any power out. You just basically have your power on each of these. You could even have solar panels. That could be a way to do it. Just make sure it's like up one. Here's a more realistic scenario. Hold on. I don't see people doing this enough yet, but we'll start to see it. I mean, because this is kind of the way to do it. A lot of times, if you've got area TCs, you want to be able to see around things. So kind of doing this and elevating your TC is not a bad way to do it. And at the same time, you can also safely, for the most part, stick up a couple solar panels up here if you want to. So like that way, if you're on your base, you can see if anybody's hiding back here, and you can just pop them. And then you would put some solar panels on the top here. Should be enough. Sorry, let me catch up on chat here. I know I've been looking at the screen for too long. I'll be so glad when the main stream machine comes back so I can have my standard setup. I miss it. So like in theory, instead of dragging out the power here, we could have like a battery cabinet that's elevated. And then we can, you know, have solar panels up here to really get things rounded out. I guess I didn't make a spot for the batteries. Whoops. Northeast, southwest. So where's our northeast? Here. And these are low profile. These are a lot harder to mess with. Not impossible, but still. As long as you have these on sensors, 4 solar panels will run quite a bit. This will kind of keep things off, you know, your back. So if you have a sensor down here, this would be a real easy way to activate. You could have a sensor close by, so if somebody tries to mess with this or climb up, these activate. So you can have like a switch that'll turn on when you want it to, but then this will activate when someone comes by to try to troll the turrets, and then they'll pay the price. Really, I guess what we could do is make this cabinet a bit larger, so you can stick the battery cabinet on there. But you get the idea. Lots of ways to do this. And so let me go ahead and show you this solution where you've got an active switch here. Okay, so if this is on, and let's call this one 69, 69, which, by the way, that's the worst setting you could possibly do because everybody guesses that. What you could do here is you could just have this, or you can have this logically execute as well. Oops, I messed up. This needs to be another way. Oopsie, oopsie. Oof, I wasn't expecting to have it so tight in here. That's what she said. I knew it. I knew it was full. Does it still say 69? What's up? Shay says, hello, hi. Extension cable says the other three, not just in general. Older Gen console says, are they adding 2-year anniversary rock this week? I don't know. What's up? Cadio Dragon 71 says, I love your videos. Thanks, man. I'm glad they help out. I'm glad they're helping out a lot of people. We're going to have a bunch of stuff coming pretty much all the way up until and through the 25th. I mean, we always have Rust videos, but we're going to have a lot of very specific stuff for, like, the update that's coming. Should be very useful, as we are avid players of the game. Okay, so you can have this actually trigger inside of the base, too. Let me go ahead and get this set up here for a sec. Oops, I forgot to do this. I just want to make sure I was catching up on chat. Okay, so whenever this is activated by the switch, we'll have the main power. And then the activator will go. Is there a way we can... So what's happening is the green box, the memory cell, is actually, most of the power is going to go through here, go through the yellow and wait for a signal to be turned on. And that signal is going to come from our antenna. And there should be enough charge coming through the antennae. And then when a power comes through here, it'll activate the toggle, which will turn this on. Which should turn on all of the circuits. So that signal can come from your tool, or it can come directly from a broadcaster, which can be just set up in the base that can trip all by itself. Not the best wire management, but it'll get the job done. Okay, so what's happening now is you can see the memory cells in the off position. And if you hit this once, I don't have to keep holding it. It turned on this turret, but it also turned on these out here. This can work in the same way. If I'm way out here and I hit the switch once, you can see that the turret went off. And then so did these. And if I'm back here and I hit it one more time, you can see that the turrets just turned on, and so did the ones in the back. So you can kind of see if you break off, and I'm not even connected to the main base. That's kind of the best way to do it if you have them at range like that. Then I hit it again, then they go off. This is how do you funnel super far away to your base. That's the thing. You'd have to kind of do it through your TC cabinets to protect it, and that gets very expensive. You'd have to have a trail of TCs. Most of the time, you're going to have the water, or you're going to be, I'm sorry, your base is going to be close to the water. That's really how it works in most cases. The hermit base is pretty good. So like if you have your main base, you could build the hermit base out by the water and then do your farming there, and then do like your runs of your product that you made and run it in the middle of the night. There we go. That's a good base for that. It's on the cheap too. So it's made specifically for farming, like very like staged up. So you can start with a small amount of stone if you want to. But again, it can support your main base, and it doesn't have to be next to it if you don't want it to be. And then so like right here we have, let's do another example before we put a bow on it. What we can do over here, do I have like some power that I wasn't using? Probably not. Oh, those are all plugged in. I guess we could just do it right out here if we want. We could do whatever we want. So if we had a broadcaster, this can also activate it. So you don't need to have that, what is this called? The RF transmitter tool. This is essentially what it is. Well, we're going to cheat this and then put a creative power block there. That represents any type of power. Although what we could do, you know what? I don't even think we need that. I think we can just red button this sucker. Set frequency 69. I'm pretty sure this works with just one pop. So what's going to happen is this will generate its own power. Let me just kind of walk through what this does. This generates its own power, goes to the signal here. The broadcaster shoots that on frequency 69 over to our TC cabinet that then receives the signal. It already has a charge waiting on the darker blue. And then as soon as it receives that signal, it pushes that signal up and over and then toggles the memory cell on, which pushes the rest of the power that's been waiting at yellow all the way through to the splitter and then to the 3 turrets that are on the outskirts. So let's see if that works. It should. The broadcaster is a wireless way to send signals. Oh, look at that. Nice. Nice. This is how come PlayStation had an update. I think we all did. It's just PlayStation kind of hung up there for a second. It wasn't supposed to glitch like that or whatever. I think they were just waiting for something to approve, and then Sony was taking their hot second. So most likely, you would have like external power, another battery source, and then you would send a signal to your turrets that are way out there. That's the most efficient way to do it. Because then you don't have to protect those little charge lines that you're talking about. Does that help? Yes. Oh, a sec. Ooh, let me check see what the drops are. I'm gonna get like 3 drops all at once. Oh no, 2, 1, 2. Right down, bow, bow. I'm a computer. Okay, so kind of a basic rundown. I had this set up last time, but I don't think I had time to actually get it all sorted. Sorted. I guess we kind of get these little tips, we'll kind of throw them back down over here. That's not what I meant to do. So yeah, the cargo stuff's going to be here on June 1st for the PC, which is kind of nice. You didn't know the Adobe stuff's here for stone. I'm assuming the cargo container is for the metal tier, and then Brutalist is after that. And they're all DLCs over here on PC, so I would assume when they come out for us on the console side, they'll be in the same fashion. It says, it's kind of funny to ask, but what's coming after horses and custom servers? Oh, it's not funny. I'm with you. I want to know as well. There could be a number of things. Cars is definitely on the list of potentials. So yeah, Twitch Rivals is going on. The drops are happening for the PC Rust. Even if you don't have it, if you have a Steam account, you can start to accumulate those. And then I think in 180 days, if you buy Rust, all the stuff you collected for drops should work on that side. So, you know, or if you already have PC Rust or something, you know, why not? Why not get some free skins, dude? Dude. Oh, check it out. So one of the ones I got just kind of recently. We need a spray can too. That would be great. What's up? Matt Stevens says hi. Hello. Oh, that's fancy. Those look real sharp. One of them was fridges for that side. The other one, I guess it doesn't matter what order we put it in. A. I got bubble guts. I can feel it. Dude, I'm gonna have to drop a deuce. Ugh. The milk was bad. But I mean, look at these Adobe skins. They're absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Some people say they hate them. I'm like, what? Why? They look fantastic. The metal one's really cool too. I guess they're experimenting too with the ability to paint those different patches that they have for it too. I was like, ooh. Looking good. Ta-da! Ta-da! Says that will Twitch Rivals ever happen for console because the PC Twitch drops are so cool? I don't know what their plan is for that. I hope that they do. That would be really awesome. I would be all about that. I think everybody else would be too. "70 people have voted." It says, will you be playing May 25th? 66% said, oh yes. 6% said no. 9% said, what's going on? And then 20% said they're waiting for custom servers. What are these fish? They're so loud. By the way, just having 1 or 2 horses makes a ton of this dung. Like a ton. Look at this. 52, 78, 100. Slap them in here. It is a lot of fertilizer. So I guess this works like furnaces. We have, what, 6 horses here? Which is kind of excessive, but hey. Excellent. Let me go check my... I think I have something in here where I put up the... Turret 9 tower might take a second. By the way, custom servers. What we know up to this point, if you haven't already seen it. Man, just cooking food and like sitting down is gonna be a big deal. Speaking of which, let's throw it in here. Let's throw it in here, guys. Will. Says Xbox has a 5.71 gig update. Yeah, it should just be the standard stuff. Like, the big update is until next week, as far as I understand it. A campfire. A bear rug. Different types of food, eh? How about some cooked schmeat? I mean, I guess, yeah, this would make sense. Dude, I always hunch over when I play this game. I'm always like, intensity, 9,000. So I had this set up last time. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. But like our servers, like there's a mandatory wipe and stuff. So I actually lost all this progress. So what it was is like I was kind of stepping through the different like tips and stuff. Trying to recreate it, but I'm like, I don't think I remember exactly the order, but I guess it doesn't matter what the order is, right? I don't think the order was necessarily pertinent. The tips that are included inside, I think, are the important pieces. Yes. Yes. Ooh, look at that! It's like a fancy Jade door. What's up? That looks fancy. That's one of them. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I guess I'll have to pull up my list because I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But what we're saying, basically what that first room is it covers the idea of what we're talking about over here, where when you spawn, I mean, yes, you can pound a bunch of food, but your team is going to hate you. Or if you're playing by yourself, you're going to run out of food very quickly. Because it's like, just planting stuff outside is no bueno. It most likely dies. It's hard to maintain. It grows extra slow. It's just not a viable option. So you're going to want to make your own. So you're going to have to grow it or hunt it. I mean, we already kind of kill the wolves and the bears and stuff for like materials, but you're really going to save the meat and cook it. Because it's definitely something you want. Jade Monkey, do you reckon it's worth console update for Rust? What do you reckon is worth the console update for Rust? He says mining is fishing village. Oh, what do you reckon is worth console update? Wait, what do you reckon is the worst console update for Rust? Mine's fishing village. I mean they're all good because it's improving the game. Fishing Village wasn't bad. Tech Tree wasn't bad. I would say the least. I mean, I'd almost say Tech Tree because it kind of like, it made things more accessible, but I guess that's good for some people. But for a long time on the PC version, we didn't have that. We always fought for the 750 scrap tiers. But, I mean, eventually it was going to come in. So it's not like it was bad, but we could have waited longer, I guess. I would have been okay with that. Fishing Village isn't bad. I think you'll find the Fishing Village a lot more useful than it was in the past because of the sheer fact that you can fish and get your food. Because I'm telling you, you're gonna be sitting there going, how do I get food? It's going to be frustrating. Well, speaking of which, maybe we'll throw it out here because this is kind of in the same vein as that. I mean, granted, we're not that close. Ooh. Yeah, finding food is going to be a thing for sure. When you spawn, before you go out, you're going to want to grab food. Or sit down, eat some food, and then take a seat. Or if you've got some junk food, like minnows, you could take those with you. Our horse is going to be on PTB on the 25th. I wish. No, it's usually about a month. Stinky fish. Fistfalachi. Yeah, I think I find the fishing village a lot more useful. Well, and plus the fishing village is a way to kind of like earn scrap, like not passively, but you can definitely go out in the middle of nowhere and just like chill, farm it up. Horses are coming after the farming update, but it's probably going to be about a month, give or take. Hang on a second, I gotta check something. Let me run it back. Here, B, real fast. Ah. Alright, so we're going to touch base on cloning and a little bit of genetics. Not how to do a perfect plant necessarily, but some of the ways you can start your cloning process. Although, I think what we're going to do is try to get a diagram going here. I think we could do it back here, maybe. Yeah, that might work. Sure. I don't know which one's going to work better. What's up? It says, can you show how to funnel water from far away to your base for farming? Yes. There's really two options that we have. And one is a lot more involved than the other. So realistically, and I know this is going to sound wild, but I'm telling you, this will be a thing. You're going to have a bunch of empty jugs. Then what you're going to do is, you're either going to go find a water source. Sometimes it's salt, and that's not great, but hey, it's better than nothing. Or in the middle of the night, you're going to go over to Bandit Camp, or you're going to find some clean water. Bandit Camp is still salt water, by the way, just so you know. Do we have Bandit Camp close? Oh, we kind of do. Here, we'll go this way. So let's say we don't live on the water, and let's say you're in the middle of the land, and the closest place to get water is Bandit Camp, and it's salt water. In the middle of the night, you're going to go with a bunch of empty cartons, and you're going to fill it up with salt water, and then you're going to take it back home, and you're going to throw it in your water storage or your desalinator, and then the clean water will get pushed out into your water storage. The clean water storage. So even though I know this says like it's fresh water or whatever, oh no, it says it's salt water now. You're going to fill these up. And the good news is if you have a decent sized inventory of this stuff, you'll have to do this like every 4 nights or something, so it's not super crazy. I guess until we have cars, the other way to transport large quantities of water is going to be the water module for the car. That could hold 200,000 milliliters, but still you have to have infrastructure to then pump it into the vehicle. Water is very valuable. So then what you're going to do, because you're like, hey, this is the only source of water I have and it's salt, you're going to walk back. And the reason why you do this at nighttime is so you don't get clipped. It's easier to sneak around. And then you'll have, like, you know, a box full of these things, and you'll stick the salt water in there. You don't want to dump it out by accident because it will actually ruin your crops, and it does splash through the wall. It's a type of combat you can do against your enemies. But then what you would do is you would come here, and you might have a box or something on the floor that's going to hold your extra salt containers. Right, because you're going to fill this all up with the salt. And then when you have power, you're going to convert this. And then anything that you don't have, or there's empty containers, you stick them in here. Don't underestimate the power of jugs. They are absolutely useful. And so you'll kind of do the same thing on the other side. So once you have clean water, you'll also store it in the same fashion. So let's say we do have water on this. Oh my, that's like right in my face. Whew, and that is close. That is really hard to hit. So like right here, we have our water purifier, desalinator. Sorry, I'm just kind of clipping through the wall because it's much easier to do that. I think that takes 5 units of, whoops, takes 5 units of power, so let's go ahead and do that. It should turn it on. So now this water is being cleaned slowly but surely. There it goes. Then the clean water comes over on this side. What you can also do is you can have another water container here. Storage. Most likely you'll have something like this. And since you're hearing a motor in there, it will pump over to the other side. Really? I put a pumpkin down here? Because you can hear a motor, it'll pull water in at a certain distance and a certain height, and then also on the opposite side here on the blue container, which is the clean water, it'll also do the same thing. So what's happening here is you have to manually feed this with the water, and then it's cleaning it and pushing it out to the other side. And this is not if you're not close to bodies of water like this. And that's most people. I mean, shoot, I'm not always living next to the water. So this is how you would clean it, and then you would keep a nice surplus of water, and then if you have even more water that's clean, you would start to stock it under the station right here that's clean. So I would take a container here, start to fill up my jug, and then that's like my overflow. And these are things you can do at nighttime, because you've noticed the nighttime is extremely dark. So this is a nice way to kind of stock up on water. And this should be enough because like it takes 2 hours to do a complete cycle of just berries. Things can go a lot longer if it's, we're talking like real time. So, and that's just for like what, 9,000 milliliters for a large crop plot. So you can already see 2 jugs will keep you going for like 1 session. What's up? This is new update, Jade? There was just like a back end thing that was happening today, as far as I know. Probably preamble for the whatever's coming next week, but the next week is the big patch. Is the content patch. So the way this is working here, just in case anybody's wondering, we have 5 units of power branched off to there, and this is before the switch. So we actually have the turrets off, but now the turret system is on. But the turret system will only draw power when things are activated up top. So that's why we stuck the branch just before everything. So we're kind of managing our power nicely. We're still drawing more here, so we were using 5 units of power. Still not bad. Everything's off. 1 more extra unit of power if the turrets are off. And that way this is always on. You could put a switch on this so this isn't always chewing up water, because really, when that's empty, you don't need to do that. But let's go ahead and paint that box so you guys see what's going on. Does that kind of help? And then I can show you another way to do it that's a bit more involved. But what would salt water look like, right? And then the clean water would be this, or the blue box. Shorty. And sometimes just running to the ocean and filling up with salt water is a thing too. And yes, you can put a pump outside, but the problem with that is they're very, very soft. They're squishy to the max. And that's not great. And that's one of the premises behind the T-wedge, which is this wedge terrain bunker base. And it actually uses this dead space over here in the honeycomb to convert for water conversion, for doing tea mixing, and all kinds of stuff. So, and then you could be like right here by the edge of the water, and you don't need like a pumping system. You could, but here's the thing. Here, I'll just show you how. And I'm not saying that pumps are bad. They're definitely great, but you gotta know when to use them. They're very fickle with where you put them. You can't rotate them. See how far in the water I have to go? And there we go. And here's the other thing. Look at this. I'll just cut it up with a knife. Considering that takes gears and a lot of scrap to buy at the outpost, and that was pretty easy to knock down, you probably want to make sure that you've got it protected. Now, when it's protected, it's super OP and it pumps a lot. As a matter of fact, if you look at our grid here, we have 7 pumps going. Or 6. We only have 6. So, well, you can have 7 pumps going, and it's all going into this water filter, and it's still keeping up. So, do you see, like, it's constantly stocked? And we should have an excess here, too, on the pump. The pump itself does hold 2,000 milliliters. So, look, like, these are inefficient right now because we actually... it can feed all of that. And the only reason why it's backed up now is because our main container is full. And so I take my overflow here and I fill up the water jugs and I put them in the refrigerator. Yes, you're going to want to save every single jug you find. And even if you don't think you're going to use it, you want to save it to A, either recycle it, or B, to sell it in a vending machine, because they're worth something, dude. Says, are you playing one more week of console, or are you waiting for the update? I'm just waiting for my stream machine to come back so I can have all my settings and like ready to go. That's the only reason why I haven't been playing Rust console on stream, is because my main stream machine is like being repaired. The motherboard schmelted. And so, like, yes, I can reconfigure it, but like my audio settings will be jacked, and then I gotta fix them. And then when I fix them, I'll have to change them back again. And changing audio and getting balance right is a royal pain. But honestly, if it took any longer than what it has, I'd probably just do that anyway. My knife. My kniff. What was I saying? That's a good question. Do you want to see the other way to do it? It's very similar to the turret solution that we just did. You would have, you would move things through like a pipe system through your tool cupboard. You'd have to protect it. And then you would actually need water, or I'm sorry, you would need a pump for a lot of that stuff too. So you'd have to have a little power. Here, let me just give you an example. So yeah, in most cases you want to either build close to the water or just do water runs. You would have to have some type of pumping system going on. Now, I think you would only need one solar panel, technically, if memory serves correctly. How much do these use? 2 units? Oh, only one. Okay, so yeah. You'd be able to get away with a car battery for this. But you'd have to have a constant source of power, so you'd have to use the solar panel as well, so it's starting to get expensive. So either pick northeast or southwest. 2 is kind of a overkill for just a pump, because this is using such a low usage that you should be okay. Now, you could probably power 2 of these TCs. You don't have to put them in each of those. But, it's a good start. It's a good start. So like that way it's taking enough charge to actually run the pump, and then you'd have your pump sitting up here. And then it would always be on. It would have to be. And then when you bring up the power, make sure there's 2 places you can actually put it from a power source. And it's very easy because they're next to each other. Make sure it's not the toggle. Make sure it is the power. And then you just got to make sure that's on at all times. So then you'd be running from like one station to the next. You can see what I mean. It starts to get expensive very quickly. So you're like, yeah, maybe I will run that. Yeah, that's why the T-wedge is such a big deal, because it's like, oops. Like it's supposed to be for like solos and duos, and a lot of times you can get paid, but you're usually building up and you're trying to like really minimize your cost on everything. And so you can get your T's up and running by just doing it manually. Since I've seen people move water from super far away from TCs, but didn't know how it works. Okay, I gotcha. Then people eventually see that that's your water line too, so then it's open for attacks. It's not using power? Okay. Was it smart enough to know, like, if there's any fluid in there? That's interesting, if that's the case. Here, I'll even show you, like, out here, too. This might be a good way to do it, too. It's a good question. Good question, man. Good question. Where is the... There it is. Jeez. Looking right at it. So I'm pretty sure... It does not fit in a triangle at all. And if it does, it's so fickle, you probably don't even want to mess with that. Uh-oh. Is the server going to eat it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I might eat it. Hold on. It's non-responsive. That's not good. Let's check the old Twitch drops. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm checking in. Oh, holy frames. Yeah, this is gonna crash. Whoa. Wow, dude. Game's unstable. Whoa, memory leak. Wow, you see what I mean? Unity is rough. Unity. There it goes. It's gonna eat it right there. Dump. It's about to. There it goes. It's gonna crash. I'll put up the privacy screen so you don't see a black screen, so it's not super confusing. Yeah, it's gonna crash. Here it comes. So what I was gonna try to do there is make like a small pump house that's like on the cheap. There's a number of different ways you can do that. Oh yeah. Pump house. I think we could do it on the cheap, because really, if you just have a square in the middle, that can be enough to move what you need. Wow, it's still choking on it. I'm just going to force close it. Yes, program is not responsive. Duh. Sorry, bringing it right back. Let's play some music whilst we wait. Hey? Apologies. An error occurred. No kidding. Where? Excellent. Okay, we're back. It's coming. I took a second. So yeah, the game plan there is to do like a little pump house. That's on the cheap. But yeah, each time you're going to make a stage where you're going to be moving water, you're going to be doing it inside of a TC cabinet. So you need to make sure that you've got privileges to actually drop a line all the way down from your water source. But I would say until then, I would definitely be using something like water jugs and doing like covert night runs. And then just filling up half of your inventory or all of your inventory with jugs, and then just fill up those containers either at the bandit camp, a clean river, or on the ocean shore. The clean river is ideal, but most Zergs, if they are worth their salt, will be posting up or protecting those areas. They will be hotly contested. I think most people that have been playing on PTB kind of understand that. Interesting to see how it plays out. The next Twitch drop is that fancy hammer for building, and I cannot wait. Yeah, do you see what I mean? These boot times are crazy. Adobe Building Skin DLC. Improvements and fixes. So the nuclear missile is why the servers wipe. We're the experiment. Oh, swish, baby. Excellent. My goodness, what'd that take? Like 3 minutes? Jeez. Man. Yeah, I hope I don't have to drop a deucer. Okay, we should be clear now. We go, fat, chunky. Ooh, almost had that fancy locker too. Yeah. Okay, so we're finally back. It took forever. I don't think we can really fit that one in there. Oh, we might be able to. Hold on. Can you do it like that? No. That's not going to fit in there. Is it? Yeah, that's not going to fit. Yeah, the hitbox in that's crazy big. Yeah, like, I don't even think it's going to let us. It's so fickle. That barely fits in there. Yeah, so if you want one pump, that's one way to do it. And I guess you could fill up the rest like this. Oh, you know what? Can we do it like... Because you really don't need much for this. Now I'm curious. Can we do this on the cheap? This way you can still fill up jugs if you need to, right? Yeah, that's no bueno. Can you still fit a TC? No, you can't. I was gonna say. It's like, I don't think you can. Oopsie. I mean, this is one way to do it. Keeps the cost down. You'd have to have a bit more of the solar panel action. I don't know how viable these extra back pieces are. You might have to have this fully blown. Yeah, having some accessibility is kind of where it's at. Because you're going to have a bit of power. And you want an airlock on this. Yeah. Oh my. So it says Roast on console right now is updating. What's new? I think it's just like back-end stuff. I think the major stuff is coming next week for sure. So, May 25th. It might be testing some things. Probably most likely server type stuff. And I guess in the very back we just put down a TC like a man. It says, can RCE get Twitch drops? No. Not that I'm aware of. Hey, quality. Ooh. But you can still get Twitch drops if you have your like a Steam account. Here, everything you need to connect everything up is directly from the Face Punch website. So here you go. Don't click anywhere else if it's not like the domain isn't Face Punch. There's some scammers out there for some reason. Some scammers. Okay, sweet. We got the main deal. I just gotta switch. While I'm watching here, I gotta pick what my next. Gravity. I mean, we gotta go green team, right? Mr. Wellen. I know you guys can't see that. The Twitch drops are active. Okay, so in the back here, we're gonna have to have a solar panel on the top. 2 solar panels. Northeast. Southwest? Honestly, I think the square center is going to be where this one's at. And you'd have like different things inside of here. Probably places for jugs. Then you can have like little doors on the side to kind of protect things. If people want to spend 8 satchels to come in and mess up your pump, then so be it. Do you know how many millions of materials I just put in all here? Oh. $2 million down. Just throw it on the ground. No big deal. Says, what am I updating Rust for? It says, also, is the Twitch drop for console as well? No, unfortunately, it's not. It isn't. Now what we gotta do is I kind of want to see if we can run this off of just one doo-doo battery. Because having to get a medium battery out here is kind of rough, right? Not gonna lie, that's rough. Squirtle. I guess I want to see if we can run it from a medium, and then, or I'm sorry, small, and then if you want to upgrade to medium, you can. Look at that charge we got in here. Solar panel 20, 20. That's charging. I guess you really wouldn't need the pump part of it, would you? So it should pump all the way over here in theory. Let's find out. Says, when are you gonna let console have the DLC stuff? When are they gonna allow the DLC stuff? It says it's a missed opportunity. It says, I want that pool. I know, I do too. Yes. I don't know. I've seen them toy around with it and stuff, so I don't know what their game plan is for that. I'm not really sure. There you go. Northeast. That tray. Then a pumpy poo. Battery. See, I put it in the toggle. It's so easy to do. Okay, let's see if we got it. So fluid in. You could just drape it across. I am just out of range. That's very annoying. Oh, I'm in this cabinet. That's why. I was like, what? Ooh. So that's one way. Here, let's make sure that's actually putting stuff inside of there. I think we can figure this out by putting some of these out here. And you could put a desalinator out there too if you really wanted to. Just want to see if it's pumping correctly. It should be. Yes. Extend base. Yeah, you can see why you want to put this on the water, right? 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want to just put everything you need, like at a farm base, like the hermit base, and then you take your processed materials out of there. And then if they raid it, you're like, so what? What are you gonna do? Take my seeds? Scrub. Yeah, I can see why I was like, yeah. Also, just fill up your water jugs, because if you're trying to make ore teas to like get boost your farm, you don't want to. You want to start growing right away, and then your more finite growing and stuff you would like set up while you're growing the other crops. If that makes any sense at all? Yeah, so what's happening here is we have a pump pushing it the extra distance because I didn't have enough for that. And then each of these TCs are just enough to push it even further. That's if I did it right. Sometimes you might be off a little bit. And in that case, that sucks. So it's faster to use jugs. Yeah. Think about it. You stick in half your inventory, or even all of your inventory, you can get things going right away. And then it'll last for like a lot of in-game days. And so like use your night times for making water runs. And then if you are like really being efficient and you want to upgrade it, then you can go to this. But you can see just how involved this is. And I've seen people do this. This is definitely an option, but you very rarely start with this because it's so heady. You're just like, oh, that's a lot. And you're like, yep, it really is. It's supposed to be. Water's that important. Oh, man, every time with the toggle. Let's make sure it's actually coming over here. And let's see if it actually walks all the way over. Please don't be that far away. Nice, that's the one's being filled up. So you can already see we've already transported it this far. And if we keep doing it correctly, we should be able to push it one more. We did our math right. Ooh, this one's gonna be close. Ooh. Look at that, like 4 solar panels, 4 car batteries, 4 TCs, some doors. And that's just to move it a little bit. Now, if you're kind of close to the water, this might be a good option, sure. But you saw how close we had to have the TCs. This one's using 7. It's going up slowly. Look at 21 minutes. 21, 25. Is it going down slowly? I think it is. 21, 25. Oh yeah, it's slowly going down. Let's see. I think it'll eventually just die off. It's actually using too much. It's like, do we put one more solar panel on there? Maybe. Yeah, you know what? This one can't take more than 40. Yeah, it's wasted. Yeah, so medium battery, probably. Or you could break this up into 2. You could have a pump on 1. And then the 'cause that's like just enough for it to be too much. Sort it out. Maybe this little guy just runs the pump. Is it really not having to use the pump? That's crazy. There you go, now it's going up. Even still, I feel like it's fighting it. What's up? It says Jade Monkey. Yeah. There he goes. So like you'd have doors on all these. It's pretty involved. It says, what are you doing, Jade? I just joined. Making like a water transport. We're going over the two options that we have currently for Rust console, where you can pass them between tool cupboards, and it's very close, or you can use water jugs. Now, I can see a time and a place where you could use something like this, where you're passing it along, but in most cases, you're going to use water jugs. Very good. I scrambled my brains. What are we doing? Yeah, daddy. Very good. Let me make sure my drops are still kicking over here. Kick it. I got it. Ooh, we got some fancy boys. How come Mr. Wellen isn't coming up here? Well, I can tell you, I've got a lot of stuff I'm already looking for, so that's pretty good. Okay, what else we got here? Any other questions we had? Those were good. 105 votes, by the way. It says, will you be playing on May 25th? 65% said yes, 8% said no, 14% said what's going on. We have the T update that's happening. That's 14%, and then 13% said waiting for custom servers. Beautiful. Okay. Did that help answer your question? So you can already start to see how like just clean water is good, because like this is just to move it, then you have to clean it and then pass it on. That's why having a separate base like the Hermit base is so good, or even the T-Wedge, which is the farm variant of this. Says thanks, I think I'll use jugs. It's all good. T-Wedge is a very affordable solo duo base, or even a starter base you can use, and you can start doing the T's right off the rip. And you do it typically on the shoreline anyways, so it gives you access to just start cranking the T's. I was like, ooh, I got bubble guts. Do I have to poop? Have to make it the poop? Oi. Oi, Nata. Says, do people use their main base for T's? Some do. It's kind of small. That's why the T-Wedge will have like farming stuff down here on the first floor. Very basic. And then the second floor is like a spot for like more farming if you want to. But it's like it's made to be expanded on, because initially you're not always going to look for that. What you're going to look for is some quick T's so you can get the ore stuff going, and then you can kind of do the rest as you need it. It says, do people use their main base for farms on the roof? They can, but I can tell you one thing. If you do that and you're on my server, we're going to climb up and take your stuff. Some people smash it. You know how it is. It's Rust. A lot of times when people have water catchers on the rooftop, we'll go up there with water jugs and then empty them out. And then take those. You know? Good dude stuff. Clean water is a thing, my friend. Hold on, uno momentos. My legs. Woo! I got you. It says, do a thing that can automatically open the door. I got you. Do that one next. Oh man, that's not right. Those horses are so annoying, hey? Oh yeah. Then we have H. Ooh. Isn't it like a... What does our inside look like? Hold on. Don't know off the top of my head. Oh, they're still white, so I guess we gotta... Maybe a darker? It's kind of hard to see, right? I feel like that shade of green is off. Yeah. Hey, at least you can see it, right? That's all that matters. Aye. Gucci. Those are the 5 traits. Hardy, grow, yield. Bad traits, X and W. He says, how do you find poop? Says if we can't get horses for console. Here's how it's working currently. So, as it stands, we don't have horses yet, but with the cultivator update that's happening May 25th, you can still collect the horse manure, the horse dung, and it will spawn randomly on the ground. And it also spawns inside of barrels as well. Then you can place that inside of the composter to make fertilizer. You can also place other materials, organic materials, uncooked meats, inside of the composter as well to make even more fertilizer. So until horses come in, that's how we're going to get those things. Yeah, so in case you missed it, with the cultivator update that's coming in, we don't have horses yet. That will be the next update, but we can still actually find the horse Tootsie Rolls, the caramels, as they were, to make fertilizer, and they do spawn randomly across the board on the ground. And they also spawn inside of barrels, believe it or not. So that's how we're going to find the horse dung until we actually have horses in the game. Looking for these? Let me just smell it. Excellent. It's actually super OP. You're OP. What? And it is confirmed, these do speed up the grow times for sure. I can do the turret thing here. Let me go over some of the cloning for a second. We had such a good run on this yesterday. I guess we'll just take the red berries, because why not? It's gonna make it quick. What's up, Odin? He says, "Hey, baby. Hi, bro. Hi, bro." Ah. Mo, mo, mo. Let me go grab this. This will help as well. Yes, excellent. La, 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 la. We can grab something like. We have kern. The potatoes. I gotta sneeze. Man. Kind of what we had yesterday. So, the best spot. What's that? That's like hot pink. I don't know how I feel about that. Yes, from top to bottom. Here we go. That gives you a better layout of a full crop plot. I guess we should do a small tray as well. Fire in the hole. Single trays. So really, it's ideal for cloning. I hit cancel like an idiot, man. Does that make sense though? Like how there's like different crop plots and there's different spots? Large, single trays. So the orange represents the crossbreeding section, and then if you want to safely plant things and then make sure they don't crossbreed with each other, you want to place them in the green zones with no other of the same plant around them. Oh, nice. Evan says you should do an automatic closing door Tesla trap base for a video. I got you, dog. We'll do those after this. Does that sound good? And we could do the door stuff too. It's just a couple of these diagrams should help with the explanation of all this stuff. These horses are so loud. All the time. All day. All they do is just... they neigh. Oops. Nay, nay. All day. Nay, nay. Don't ask me why that was the pass-through, but it was. Better. It says, would you do the same thing on the other side if you had 3? Daniel Murdoch says. Oh, like the 3 spots? Yeah, you just don't have the red in between. But the idea here is, if you have the small crop plots, you can put 3 of the, you can put 3 of those together. And you can have 6 of them. But here's the thing, when they're all the same clone, you can place them fully in a crop plot, so you don't really have to worry about that too much. So technically you could run 6 here without having to worry about crossbreeding, but a lot of times you'll have these small trays and like little nooks and crannies in your base, kind of around where your crop plot areas are, and you'll just use this to spawn the seeds or like make more clones when you need to. And then your main production usually sits in this main crop area. Usually. Not always, but usually. Excellent. Oh yeah. Carrot is quite funny. I like it. Okay. The best way to do cloning. Or this. That's blue, right? Yellow then blue. La 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 la. I'll take a minute. There was something else we talked about yesterday that was like really good. Or two days ago? Genetics. Oh my goodness, look at this bad boy. We gotta pick this one, dude. Clone, please. Whoa, that one's real good. Grow yield. So speed, grow, yield, and then we have 2 hardies. Oof. Man, that's good. That's real good. Excellent. Tango down. Then I guess you could let those grow out. Yeah, it takes about 2 hours for these. That's why you want to pull them out at the seedling, I'm sorry, sapling phase. Sapling. Oh my goodness, that one crossbred. Oh, was it a cross from this guy? Is that why? Oh boy. They did. Oh my goodness. Do you see how the terrible genes got passed on to this corn? Ugh. So bad. So bad. Yeah. The potato's not bad. Yeah, so I guess doing it across is no bueno. Completely no buenas. Thought for sure. Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Oh yeah, duh. It can go across. Literally how the other stuff works. I guess we could use a cool color. That might help it stand out. What do you think? There we go. That's better. These different configurations. Red berries. Ooh woo. Oh boy. We're gonna have to kill it. Hold on. Probably coming in on my side. Attack helo incoming. Woo. Pretty sure it shows it on the map, right? Am I crazy here? There it is. We must intercept. Man, I really messed up that corn, didn't I? So yeah, the whole clone stuff is pretty wild, eh? The genetics, the cloning. We're gonna go over that here in a second. I'm just trying to sort it out in my head. One boost active. I see it. Yeah, caffeine makes you whiz. I gotta pee again. Let's see if I can pee and come back in time. I'll be right back. Hello. We overshot it a little bit. Coming back to Earth. Alright, we'll try to explain this and see if it makes any sense. Yeah. Cloning, genetics. Why should you care about it? How do you read it? What's good? What's bad? Well, with the advent of the farming update coming into Rust Console Edition soon enough, well, for the first reason, why you would want to care is because the teas. You can farm faster. You can get more scrap, you can have more health during combat, you can heal during combat in addition to the other medical supplies that you do have. So plants are a big deal, more specifically the berries. So you're going to want to know what is good as far as genetics, and how do you clone these plants once you find something good? How do you read what is a good plant? And without having to do the crossbreeding, because that is definitely in-depth, and that's a completely different video or a completely different topic. So let's go ahead and go over what these different circles mean. So there's 6 slots. You have 1 through 6, starting from left to right, and they're color-coded green and red. So green means a good trait, H means hardiness or resiliency, G means grow, so how fast you go, and then Y is yield for how much. X is an empty slot, and W uses up more water. So red is a bad trait, and green is a good trait. But arguably, I would say if you're in a forest biome, H is probably more useless, but I would take an H over a W or an X just because of genetics down the road, like if you want to do crossbreeding and whatnot. So here's the other setup too. I'll kind of show you what you want to look for in these different plant setups, because you're not always going to get all greens on all 6 of these unless you're very, very lucky. So yeah, if we go over here to the crop plot here, we have a large crop plot, and these different circles represent places where you can place these plants if they are of different genetics, and it will be once you're placing seeds. The green spots are safe spots, excuse me. The red spots are, you can see them on the side, so there's only 2. Blue is the same thing, and then the crossbreeding area is in the dead center. So usually you want to leave that empty. But if they're all of the same genetics and you've cloned them, you can actually fill up the entire planter and not have to worry about them crossbreeding with each other. Because once you have good traits, you want to try to maintain them and just isolate those and clone those. And then here's the same setup for single crop plots, and you can put 3 of these in a row. And because they have that barrier in between, you can actually set up 6 of those if you want to kind of make a higher efficiency setup. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some berries. We should have some in the fridge, and I'll show you what we're talking about here. Because a lot of times, yes, you may want to go for a super clone, but a lot of times what you're going to end up doing is you need to have something like in production like immediately, right? Because it doesn't make sense for you to spend, you know, a couple hours getting this when you can actually be crafting up some teas for ore. You know, it's going to help you harvest more stone. It's going to help you harvest more metal and all that good stuff. So right away, you can see in this major crop plot here, we have them in the 4 corners. I'm just going to place them here. We're going to go over the genetics real fast. And then what I like to have is either a combat canif or a bone canif. It's going to help you pop these when you don't need these. So here's another reason why you want to keep seeds. Seeds become the RNG role for these genetics. So if you look at this first one here, we have an X, which out of the red is the better. 2 hardies, which is like, we're not in the winter biome or the desert, so we don't really need that. Water, which is very bad for us. A grow trait in the 5th slot, and then in the 6th slot we have W. So I would say this is a bad one for our blue berry genetics, so we're going to go ahead and just get rid of it. The reason why is you don't want to be using up that valuable clean water. Here is, we have a water hardy yield, so we're going to go ahead and pop that one. I'm going to throw down another one. So we have, what, X in the first slot, Y in the second, H, W. It's not super great. Let's look at this one. Ooh, 3 yields, an X and an H. We might want to keep this one. And then this one is not that great. So here's the reason why you kind of want to be maintaining this. You want to find the best one that you want to clone and then start producing it almost immediately, because you want to start cranking those ore teas. It is very important. So this is just for blues. Ooh, we have 2 grows. That's kind of hot. Oh my goodness, we had a super seed. This is rare, but you will get these. So we have 2 grows, 2 Ys, and 2 hardies. We got extremely lucky. You won't always have this. Wow, that's like crazy. I didn't even see that. So a lot of times what you're looking for in these genetics is 1 red trait. If you can keep it X, that's cool. A lot of times if you have like 2 grows and a yield, you'll trade off those 2 extra red traits if you want to. But this is super red. This is actually like a super seed, like right out of the gate. That's amazing. I should go play the lotto. That's nuts. Wow. Yeah. So you're going to have to do this for each color of seed, each berry itself. Is this not going to... Come on. There we go. I was going to say, is the server dying? This one would be a good one. Here's a good example. So this is most likely what you're going to see. You're going to see 1 red trait. We have a grow, a yield, and 3 hardies. Not the best, but let's say we didn't have these other ones. This could be a contender. So you would keep this one until it goes into the next phase. By the way, the growing phases are, we have seed to seedling to sapling and then crossbreeding. Crossbreeding is dangerous because if there's something around it, it'll suck up the traits around it. So you actually can't clone it when it's on the crossbreeding phase. So in order to keep our water at a good level here, so it's not sucking up too much, we can actually clone these bad boys when it's on sapling. And we should have everything accelerated here. This one's on seedling. So this would be definitely a good candidate for a blue if we didn't have a super roll like we did over here. And the reason why you want to do this again is you want to start cloning this out immediately, and then you can worry about doing your super clone crossbreeding later. This one's okay, I guess. This one's got 2 grows, but it's got no yields. So the grow's nice, but you know, it speeds things up, but you really want some more yields out of these bad boys. And then also we'd be working on another color here, which is I think the white seed for, is it yellow and white? I think it's yellow and white. It's yellow, not white. Haha, I knew that. What? So over here we'll do the same thing for our yellow seeds as well. Hopefully we'll have a better idea of what's what. So over here our super seed is looking really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the action button and clone just that one. And then this one is not that great, so we'll just, I guess, eat it. And then this one over here is 1 yield. This one's still not great, so we'll just eat that one as well. And this one over here is what, hardies and grows, still not great. Okay, so we'll clear that one out. By the way, when you do grow these, you do get fibers and worms. And as gross as that sounds, it's actually really good for your composter. Let's go ahead and go over here and throw that in there. Boop. And then you can use it for fishing as well. Okay, so we'll show you what some of these other ones look like. I cannot believe we got a super seed. That's unreal. What was our other good one? We had a grow and a yield, or was it this one? We had 2 yields. I guess this one was like a candidate. So we'll start growing them out. So if you have a good seed base, what you're going to do is, again, you want to kill these as quickly as possible because you don't want it sucking up the water. So when this one grows up big enough, if you take it off of your tool, we've got a grow and a yield, which is decent. So like, and again, you may not have a lot of blue seeds. So everything's RNG with these seeds, right? See, like that's trash. Also trash. also trash. See how many red traits we have? So you just end up bopping those out. Use your bone kniff, pop them, then roll the next one. So you kind of like, you see how you save the one that's like the best? So what we'll do right now is we'll actually clone this one. So I'm holding the action button, then I'm selecting off of the radial menu. And so we'll use this box over here to start replicating. So what we're going to do now is we're going to place these guys in the no-no spots because it won't matter if these crossbreed because they're of the same genetics. And then we'll start dropping stuff like this just to see what we can get. And then you might find something better. And you kind of do this until you isolate something that's good or until you run out of seeds. Wow, these are terrible. But hey. Oh, that's not too bad. 2 grows and a yield. And 2 X's. So those are 2 null spots. So this could be a candidate if you don't find anything else. So you see how you kind of like just reserve one to see if the other ones roll better? And you just kind of keep pushing on. So this one's trash. We have a couple candidates here. Let this one keep going. And so let's take this other... Oh no, that's the one we're growing currently. Nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the yellows here. Oh, there you go. 3 yields and a grow. My goodness, this one's dope. 2 yields. We have a lot of W's. Yeah, so we would actually... This one's pretty good for production in the upper left-hand corner. We'll just pretend that's the one. Let's say we were low on yellow seeds. You can see why you want to wax this early because they take forever to kill. Oh my goodness. Or just eat it. How about that? Man, these little guys are tough. Alright, so we're going to harvest this and make sure it's a clone. So it held the action button. So we're going to place 3 of these down. We're going to do it in the outside corners just to show you how fast these things can go down. Okay, so while these are growing up here, we're going to step over here and show you at the mixing table. Here's the other thing too. You don't need too many to go on the basic ore tea. It gives you a decent amount. So a lot of times what you want to do is you want to go to these forest biomes, look on the floor, and you'll see the berries growing everywhere. I like to collect them and then just bring them back, and sometimes you can find enough in the forest just to make your first ortiz. So you need yellow, and blue. That's it. And that's going to be enough for you to go out with like a jackhammer or a pickaxe, and you get way more stone, metal, sulfur, all of it. So it's going to help you tremendously, especially if you're solo. So you want to find these and start cooking them. And save any and all seeds because you'll need these for the whole RNG game that we're doing out here. Where's this one at? 12-minute seedling. We're looking pretty good here. It's going to go to sapling next after seedling. These would be pretty good. And then I'll show you what I mean by you just keep replicating stuff out on the tray. We'll just get rid of this one. I'll show you another one that we actually harvested back here that's of a different trait. And just to show you that you can really spam out on the area of the crop plot to really show you how to like replicate. So like right here, for our, what is this, our potato clone. We had a bunch of like grows and hardies and yields. So we had, so this one right here has 2 G's and a Y. So it's going to speed grow and give us a little bit more yield. So this one was good enough to put in production. So once I had a few of these, I would just kind of go here to the tray. And since these are all of the same clone, I can just spam them all the way across and just wait for them to hit sapling. And then I'll just I'll clone all of these, and it helps me like build up my clone stack. And there's 2 reasons why you want to have a lot of clones, an excess amount of clones, just in case something happens during the cloning process, right, where you accidentally clone something you weren't supposed to. But it's also for like production, because remember, these potatoes aren't perfect, but we're going to use them to actually grow and use them, because potatoes are going to be the best way to regenerate your health once you get started. Alright, so we have these guys right here. This one was decent. This is more realistic for our clone action. So we'll clone this one, and we'll clone this one here. And it should be right there. So we have 4 of these. Slap down 4 more. We're good to go. And then we'll wait for the next one. These are looking pretty good. These are seedlings now. Perfect. So you can see, even not having the perfect clone, or crossbreeding into the super plants, you don't necessarily need all those things to get your plants into production, because it's more about getting those teas out there so you can start harvesting more efficiently off of the rip. What's up? Trucker Life says, what do those do? They give you boosts? Yes, 100%. Pretty nice. Excellent. A second. Hi, yeah. It says, do you play Accounts Rust? I do. I do. It says, what do you do the same on the other side? Trucker Life says, what's up, Jay? What's up, man? It says, how many berries can you get from a good gene berry? It depends on what the genetics are. It says, okay, so there's boosts. Yes. Yes. Ooh. I'm just checking the old Twitch drops out here. Seeing how they look. Oh yes, trap base, Tesla coils. Yes, yes, yes. So you can already see over here. I can't believe we got that super seed. That was crazy. We're in crossbreed. Clone them all. Yes, the coils. Electricity. Door controller. What else? I feel like I'm missing something here. Oh yeah, our standard trap. Yes, yes, yes. Growing yields. It's Kern. Oh, plant fiber doesn't go in there. Duh. I know where it does go. Man, they really tapped out these crop plots. There's the trap base. Oh woo. I think we can get one going on over here, maybe. Probably inland. Yes. Okay. Trying to think of a good way to set this up. We had like a decent example last time. Obviously, I mean, we'll show you the mechanics of how to do this, but then you have to dress up the base and create the proper bait, because it's all about having a false sense of security with trap bases, as you know. Where? Gotta check. Ugh. You guys got buffering or? Hold on, still trying to. I'm getting the red on that side, and it's saying YouTube's not receiving enough data. Man, I hate when my connection does this. It's trash. Hey, man, what's going on with the connection? Can you guys see me okay? Hear me? No? Yes? I think it's right on the edge of it being like critical mass. Oh, nope, it's fluctuating real bad. Hold on. There we go. Okay. 2 by 2. Yeah, ideally you want someone to kind of fall in here a little bit. And you want it well hidden enough. Is it good yet? No? Oh yeah, it's good where. You can also do something like this too, which is pretty handy. Leave it as a cutaway. Again, I don't know how much you guys can hear me because my internet's bad. But we'll have all the logic for this on this side. Construction. Is it bounced back yet? It's still dropping like crazy, right? Dudu bata. I mean, it's kind of leveling off, right? It's not completely freaking out. I hope. Let's see. We'd have to put something semi-enticing back here. Usually having furnaces on will do it. And look at the preview. It looks like it's okay, but I'm getting like the error message from... Or did it clean up? Did it clean up? Looks like it's getting better. Still got that warning. It's like teetering on the edge. You can hear? Beautiful. It says, when's the T update to main branch? May 25th. Next week. It's almost a week out. Ugh. Yeah, making sure that Twitch shop's good to go. Yeah. Says 06, it says, can't wait for them teas. They are exceptional, yes. Alright, so I was hoping to get that hammer. So you could have something where it looks like the door's open, or it got blown off. To be fair, you probably want these on this back wall like this. Like cut away so you can see what's going on. Yeah, no one's gonna see that, right? What's up? Lucas Johnson says, hi, Jade. Hi. What's that? You have like boxes up there, getting all silly. Ooh. Come on, get it right. There. So you can't see it. Having furnaces on, the nice little hum of the furnaces is a nice touch to lure people into a false sense of security. You want something at the end of the hallway to entice them. So, usually some boxes. If you can spray paint the box, it'd be like guns. You know, anything, really. So it looks legit. That'll usually do it. Come on. Just can't wait for the update. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Alright, well, let's get the door controller running, shall we? Unlock. This one's always a bit fickle, yes? Says, I've been watching all your videos. This is going up to the new update. Nice. It says, you're probably my favorite news channel for us. Thanks, man. USMC Titan Slayer. Says, Jade, love your videos. I've been watching since you started playing Rust console. Thanks, baby. Thanks, boys. Oh, yes. That's our imaginary power supply. Let's say it's solar panels. Alright, however we want to dress it. Okay, so in the on state, or triggered, that should come down. We could even have Tesla coils up here, to be perfectly honest. It's still going to people up. Yes, very good. Alright, so we've got the door controller that's doing its thing. We could even have another door shut behind it. We could even set it up like this. Or it's like, you know, it's like somebody left it open or something. You know, something like that. And then you got something like this where like you can see through it. So this would be a, you know, that would be a wall or whatever. So you kind of see in the cutaway. You could put another triangle ladder hatch or whatever right there too. That would also work. There's lots of ways you can sell this. It says, are you building a trap base? Because I just woke up because I'm Swedish, and the first thing I saw is that you're alive. Oh, nice. Yes. Oh, look. Okay, good. It looks like our connection leveled off. Good. Very good. So we get like what, 15 apiece? I mean, you could put one there. I kind of like the one above. The one back here to stop them, and then the one up here to stun them. So we have like 30, 45. Like 12 apiece? What would that be? 12, 24, 36, 37. So I need to shave off 37. And this will be for the Tesla coils. The Tesla coils going off anyway, they stun you. And so if you do move, it's going to be slow, but you're also losing damage quite rapidly, or losing health. Ah. Baby. So one of the things you can do, I don't know if you guys saw this on the last one, but you can get it to go in the box. Oh shit. And it's still Vex. Look at this, just let me wire it up. You could use an HBF sensor too, but it's like, you know, Did they kill our ability to do this? Unacceptable. There we go. That'll do it. Then you can like paint it so it looks all legit. Then we'll, it'll be one of the trip conditions. Yes? This will be popped up into set, so we'll make this... So what you can do here, this is kind of a dirty little trick. You can get going like right there on the floor. You come back outside by the foundation, pop it here once, and then come back inside and then place. Power in, please. At all times. Oof, that's like right there. I guess you could bring it over and around, but you get the idea. Hopefully no one's gonna see that. I should have brought it down lower. What was I thinking? So what's going to happen here is this is initially the switch. The box blocks the laser from happening. And then you can put down another one of these or something. Gonna help. This is Jay. Can I ask you a question? Yes? What's up? Hi. Sorry. Wow, I just picked that up. What? Guns. So what you should do is, when you're out front, you should wreck yourself and leave some stuff in there or whatever, stuff that looks believable. Like maybe you didn't make it to the door. They have these furnaces on. Excellent. Oh, yeah. What else do we need to power? Am I forgetting here? Oh, yes. Our beautiful doors. Wait, so that's gonna be the inverse. What am I doing? I actually don't need that. This is open state when the trap is ready. Then it will go to off because the door controller will switch off. And this one goes up here. Got it. Okay. This should toggle the state. Oh, it'd help if I plugged it in. We can make this 38. And we could put a switch on top of that too, so if you're worried about the Tesla coils going ham. You actually test the switch without having to blow out your Teslas. Testicles. Don't blow out them testes. What? I say 38. I. Perfect. And you can have that shutting door anywhere you want. So we have a Tesla coil in the ceiling, one over here, and one in the back. So if they try to rush, they're going to be hurting. They can't. I mean, they won't be able to. And so to reset it, I mean, technically what you should do here is you should just rewire this. If you go into the reset, we can have two of the buttons, right? Why not? Because maybe you want to set it off. Maybe. So let's see if it works. Let's go ahead and walk through the door. So what's going to happen is that invisible laser is going to set off the memory cell. It's going to trigger the door and the hatch to come shut and to activate all of the Tesla coils. Oh wow, I'm bad? I'm real bad. What happened? Am I crazy? Is it not enough? Or did I branch it off at the wrong time? No, I did that at the first part. Wow, did I break it? Hold on. There it is. Is the server lagging? I mean, this would absolutely pinch you in the first place, and then you're just dead. So let's try with the Tesla coils. Reset. Tesla coils active. Let's walk through like a chode. What's up, Max? Says love your videos. Nice. Roasted. Reset, reset. I'm like, was the server slow or something when I'm walking through? Let's see if it works. What is up with that? Does it need to be higher? Maybe we have to reposition the box. Well, you can see it. You can just keep this turned off like that. I don't know why it's doing that. That's so weird. You get the idea? Hiya. It's not the same anymore, is it? How could you? La historia. The whole idea is to jam it in there just a little bit. Well, you can also use an HBF sensor, but you get the idea. You get the idea. You know what's going on here. Burlap sack. Does that make you moist? HBF sensor would work in the same fashion. You'd literally just slap this bad boy up here like this. Yeah. I'm sorry, power in would be this. It's coming back all the way to the top. What you could do as well is have like an AND switch to boost all of this. So like as long as there's a guy detected, it'll keep on the Tesla coils, but as soon as that person's dead, they'll shut them off. Perfect. So even if you run in, you Tesla it out of your mind. Tesla coil. Bingo. Oh, yeah, Randy. We have 131 votes. 66% say they will be playing on May 25th for the update. 7% say no. 14% say what's going on. 13% said they're going to wait for custom service. You know what? I'm starting to fade over here. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. We better wrap this up for now. We'll be back tomorrow with some more videos and definitely some more stream action. We'll be doing it up here, and yeah, appreciate you guys. If you guys are looking for anything and everything console servers, we've got the information here. This is all the most recent information that we do have up to this point. I'm hoping we hear about the custom servers in that blog hopefully this week, but we'll kind of have to wait and see. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah? Good night, everyone.